You go home yet?
Mic test, mic test. Shauzen, oh my god, resubbing. Thanks, man. Awesome.
Sub.
Sub. Hello and welcome to the Yacht Club, the weekly show where we don't know how to do our video properly because XSplit decided to have an absolute conniption. So what I'm doing is I'm fixing my XSplit VCam over and over again to get it working again. Hi guys and gals and elves and Santa Clauses and reindeer and all that. We are going to have an awesome show today. This is the last show we're going to have before Christmas. Now I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. The bad news is that Shadowkin is sick. And what that means is that we won't be able to have the show that we had planned for you today, which is the Dr. Contrast ship concept show, which we're extremely excited about doing. So unfortunately, we won't be able to do that show. We're going to put that off until the new year. We've got a few dates out to Dr. Contrast to do, but it's going to be in January. So we will do that, and we'll do it as soon as we can in January. But until then, the good news is that we're going to have a really good show, and we are going to have a show, and we hope that you enjoy it. Now, also, because Shadowkin is gone, who is the treasurer, what we're asking is that, and thanks for subscribing again, Captain Nemo. Really appreciate that. What we're asking is that you don't donate to the show today, because we're not going to do a big ship giveaway. We're going to save that again for the new year. However, I'm personally going to give away a goodies pack from 2949 Citizen Con to kind of make up for the fact that we're doing this. So save your money tonight. Use it for an awesome dinner that you're going to go to with family. Use it towards a better Christmas and holiday period. And otherwise, just enjoy the show while we talk about what happened this week. So why don't we go around the table, starting off with Dr. Murray, ask you how your week's been, and more importantly, what are you drinking?
No, before we get to all that, if you have to give somebody money today, PM me and I'll give you my PayPal. I don't mind.
If you're really in that Christmas spirit.
Merry Christmas, Doc.
I don't want to make anybody feel bad that they can't give.
Yeah. And just a special shout out there. We've got Nubafire watching. It's great, man. Always really good to see you. Love your videos when they come out. We've got our amazing T Nightster in the Discord modding for us, which is fantastic. We've got Joran, a brand new self-streamer that's putting out a lot of videos on his own behalf, but also really synergizing really well with the Yacht Club. We're going to create a special channel for that, the Yacht Club. At least we didn't have a chance to talk about that, but I think what we're going to do, as long as Joran works for it, is create a special channel, a gameplay channel, so that you guys can actually get in there and play in the Yacht Club and chat away.
What kind of work am I expected to do? That sounds like work.
You're supposed to grow. You're supposed to grow the Yacht Club by 20 viewers each show.
Yeah,
I'm working on that.
That's your quota.
We're growing the Yacht Club community. We're having a good time. A lot of Yacht Clubbers have been crashing spaceships and running around doing some shenanigans. It's been a good time.
Hello, Mystic.
Well,
thanks for the subject.
Thanks, Jay. Move on to you. Hey, Jay, right on, man. Thanks for resubbing. So, Dr. Murray, are you done with your week? Maybe we can move on as a segue.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
We didn't even talk about this week.
No, I don't even remember what happened this week. It was busy.
You have a new contract and you're working on it.
Yeah.
That was last week.
Yeah. No, it's going to last for a while. Yeah.
Well, one would hope so.
Yeah, until like the 20th of January or something like that. Maybe it's the 30th. I forget now.
Good to have contracts.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I've been doing. And I'm drinking lovely water.
Is it brand name water or is it?
No, it's just filtered water. It's not generic.
Now we've all disappeared.
We've all
really haven't.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, we've all.
Okay, I know what's going on. I'm going to try and fix my video, and while I do that, it might hurt your video for a second. So bear with me.
That's okay. We're all still here. Hopefully the audio stays. At least if the audio stays, we can all just chat away and drink invisibly. My week was pretty good. I think. What is it? Wednesday? Yeah, actually, my week's been really good. I started streaming Thursday of last week. Had my first stream, and thanks to our community, it only took me 2 hours to get over the audio video issues. So seriously learning how complicated that is on the back end, all the stuff that STEM has to go through at a much smaller level.
Yep.
They're STEM now. And
I don't know what happened, honestly. Like I put in a new video card, but I don't think that would have affected what's happening with my stream tonight, because it's not supposed to be using the video card for this. So we'll see what's happening.
Did you get an AMD video card?
Yeah, Dr. Murray, it's kind of loud over there.
Yeah, they're taking a bath.
Kids are a little rambunctious today.
It's Christmas time, so it's a family show, ladies and gents.
It's the holidays. We're giving the kids a bath in the back, and my wife is wrapping the presents, and there's a Yule fire going on the New Babbage logs. Something like that. But yeah, no, it's been great. I've had 3 streams. There was Thursday, Saturday, and Monday, and we've had more and more of the Yacht Club folks from our community getting in the verse and having the shenanigans. And we've been to New Babbage. We've been multiple places around Microtech. Now that 3.8's been out, so that's been a lot of fun. We had a whole bunch of ships at Yella, and yeah, it's great to be able to play with our community now. So
great. So
cool. Yeah.
What are some of the highlights that you've had with the gameplay streaming so far?
So
I've seen some good laughing in the Discord.
Yeah. No, the Thursday we started off just taking a whole bunch of ships to Yella and pulling some ground vehicles. We had I think we had a reclaimer, and we had 890 and a bunch of small ships, and we're just having a ship and vehicle show there. A bunch of ballistas and ursas and cyclones and dragonflies and knocks, and people were just flying around and having a good time. Just nothing really major there. And then Saturday was the PTU, and that was our first foray into over to Microtech. So we were exploring, and where did we end up going? I don't remember. We were just flying around looking for trees and found some really nice scenery. Monday was actually better. I'm finally getting in the swing of things, and we went and picked up some cyclones and drove around in New Babbage, which was really cool during a snowstorm at night. And then we all crashed out, of course. So then we went over to one of the non-snowy areas and found some trees in a nice mountain valley and flew around. And then I got up on a cliff, and folks were trying to crash into me with Shausen was trying to crash his Gladius into me, and Carson crashed a Valkyrie into me with a spectacular explosion, and I just would not die. So I think I was wearing mithril armor that night. And it was just fun, silly shenanigans. And
it's more proof that I wasn't there.
Very simple.
Because it was
fun.
No, because
he was still alive.
Would have managed to kill me. Thanks for the resub there, Gin and Tonic.
Yep.
Oh, there you are again.
I'm trying to fix it.
Whoa!
But I'm not moving. Oh my gosh, this is not.
Now you're becoming transparent.
You're fading in and out. It's a ghost stem. It's the ghost of Yacht Club's past.
I think I've learned more about what's going on though by diagnosis. I think it's the camera. I think it's the camera and not XSplit VCam, but we'll see. Let's continue on. Okay, so
how was your week, Sam?
It's been good. More importantly, I'm drinking what is this? This is Bacardi and Diet Coke because my week has sucked, but my wife is arriving tomorrow. I haven't seen her in ages. I'm excited to see her. She's been gone since really since May, April of last year. Well, of this year. So it'll be really nice. I've only been able to see her for 3 days since she's been gone. So it's be really nice to have her home for another 10 or 12 days. So really excited.
That'll be nice.
But we have a very exciting show for you, and I'm sorry once again, that Shadowkin couldn't be here. And of course, if you're just tuning in, that means that because Shadowkin couldn't be here, it means a couple of things. It means that as the treasurer, we can't do any major ship giveaways this show, so we are going to be giving away a goodies pack, a CitizenCon 2949 goodies pack, but we don't need any donations. We want you to save your donations, have a wonderful Christmas, use that money on yourself or your family and friends. And get ready for in January when we are able to have the Dr. Contrast show that we're not going to be able to have tonight because Shadowkin's not here. That's going to be an amazing show. If you don't know what I'm talking about with that show, we in the last show we did a decision tree and a bunch of polls in order to figure out what concept ship we would end up doing as a community. We ended up working out that we're going to do a large ship that is 3 to 5 crew members. It's a human vessel. It has a primary exploration, research, and development role with a secondary industrial farming role to the ship. And it has the visuals of being a legit ship. So all of that is what our pre-configure is that we got from the community last show. And Dr. Contrast has been working on an amazing piece, and what's going to happen is we're going to develop that piece and really flesh it out over the course of the show that we're going to end up doing in early January when we can finally do it for you. So stay tuned. That's going to be absolutely amazing. But let's dive into the show. Let's see what happened this week in Star Citizen. So
a lot.
Yeah, it was quite a bit.
I need to give a shout out to Terror Squadron. You should join them.
Their squadron is Panda, and I think Lou's hanging out with them. And some of the guys from Yacht Club have been hanging out with those guys.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, hanging out for real, like as in like a bar citizen kind of hanging out.
No, they just have an org and they're hanging out.
Yeah, they have their own Discord.
Ah.
Yep.
It's cooler than
that Discord.
It's cooler than the Jump Club.
It's cooler than
Discord.
the Yacht Club Discord.
Well, not the Yacht Club Discord. It's cooler than the Jump Club Discord, but nothing's cooler than the Yacht Club.
Oh well, thanks for that, Doc. Knife in the back there, buddy.
And a smile to your face.
All right, so let's dive into the state of the verse. At the moment, in the real world, it is December 18th, 2019. We have the live patch of 3.7.2. As far as I know, there's no Evocati test flight out and about, but we just got today open to all backers the wider PTU for 3.8. So that's really exciting. If you haven't had a chance to dive into 3.8 and check it out, it's really great. They've made some huge improvements, bringing in object container streaming and testing that out. So all very exciting stuff to come. Later this week, as in just today, we got a pillar talk, which talks a little bit more about that. So we'll go over that a little bit later in the show. But for now, the concept we have out at the moment is the Ares. Thank you very much. The Pisces is no longer out on concepts, now the Ares. And there's rumors that the Mole may happen at the end of the week.
I should go on sale tomorrow for Concierge.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope so.
Yep. Talking about those notes over there on the left that I might not have completely updated. we both missed that one.
I didn't miss it. I just didn't say anything.
This week, Inside Star Citizen is going to have its final episode for the year, and Star Citizen Live, the crew for that has already taken holidays for the year, so there's no Star Citizen Live on Friday. Right now, there is a contest that's out and happening. It's the Holiday Greeting Card Contest, where you go and you create a greeting card, a Star Citizen one, and there's some really good ones that have been created already, so we'll show some of those. But if you want to create a greeting card, the end date for that is January 1st, so get your greeting card contest entries in. Each card you put in counts as an entry. And you can submit as many as you want per individual. The subscribership for the whole month of December is the 890 Jump, one of our favorite Yacht Club ships here. So go ahead and get some experience playing around and flying that. And if you're not subscribed, maybe consider subscribing for a month so you can play around with that. Okay, this week in Star Citizen. Okay, so on Wednesday we got the Pisces Q&A, which we did cover last show. So we're going to dive into what happened on Thursday while I fix my video. So what did we get?
That's an ongoing issue there, Crunch. Stim's wrestling with some XSplit issues today.
Yeah, and I'm honestly not going to be able to fix it this show, so I'm going to be popping in and out of view. There'll be a disembodied voice for most of the show, I'm guessing. So, but I'll try and pop back in as soon as I can, but it's a manual process to reconfigure myself to come back in, unfortunately. Okay. All right, so let's pop over to the cinema scene, which I also have to do a little bit of building here, unfortunately.
I also love Guinness. Guinness is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. You know why?
Why is that?
It doesn't have pumpkin spice in it.
Oh, ouch!
Not every beer has to have pumpkin spice to be a good beer. I think everyone is.
In fact,
well,
it has to
well aware of
be
that.
0 pumpkin spice to be a good beer. Beer should taste like beer, not pumpkin spice.
That is a disingenuous comment, Doc. There are so many different
Disingenuous?
kinds of beer.
You mean it's not
There's
genius?
my $5 word for the.
It's pretty genuous.
Disingenuous is a word. Disingenuous is actually an ingenious word itself.
Yes, it was, wasn't it?
Love it. Okay, so we got Inside Star Citizen on Thursday. That was called Storm Warning. So it was all about the weather effects that we got. Now, this week's Star Citizen news is really all about some new ships going on, or at least that's all the community chatter, and of course, Planet Tech V4. So version 4 with all the weather stuff coming in. That and of course, server-side object container streaming coming into the verse and being tested out properly. So, Joran, do you want to tell us a little bit about your thoughts on what happened with Storm Warning?
Yeah, so they spent a lot of time on the new weather that they're implementing. So right now it's a moving weather map. It's not dynamic weather yet, but it still looks spectacular. I've been caught in the blizzard several times, and it's spectacular what they've done with this.
I think I'm just going to replace myself. It's cutting out quicker and quicker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put a cardboard cutout of Stem up there.
Ooh, that's what I'll do.
You'd like
just put a picture of you up.
Yeah.
Why are we looking at Google right now?
Yeah, you could do
what
that.
What in the world is going on?
Who's looking at Google? We're looking at I don't know what we're looking at.
It was just on Google.
Oh, Google. Yes. We're flipping around a little bit. And apparently I forgot to upload our B-roll, so we've got the whole Inside Star Citizen on there. But no, I think it's really ingenious how they're throw that word another bit of that word in there again. That how they're using the temperature and humidity and what was the other factor that they're using, Doc, to create the wind, temperature, and humidity to create the dynamic weather once they implement that.
Yeah, it's mostly done with the wind.
Pretty complex system.
The player status system UI changed back to the old system. When we first got it, it had a different UI system. But it seems to have changed back to the old one because that one wasn't working.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to do something to get the temperature on there so you can tell what the temperature is.
Yeah, because a lot of people wander around just in civvies out there in the blizzards.
Yeah,
but that's PTU for you. Or alpha. It's like either it'll come out later in the PTU or it'll come out next patch around.
There we go. Yep. I'm there. I'm not going to be moving. I'm going to be still the entire show. And
all right, Stem, hold still.
That works.
There we go.
Okay. Stem can hold still for the rest of the show. Someone donates a javelin.
All right, so I really loved in Inside Star Citizen here how they were talking about what they had done with the particle effects. They were talking about the initial technology would, and the quotation was melt your video cards. So I like how, and obviously they were talking about one part of the process as they move forward to what it would actually look like. But now we have these amazing individual particles, and while the end result is going to be full-on sort of weather systems moving around the planet. Right now, they've implemented these, directional weather effects, which is, if I'm not mistaken, very, very similar to even the way the new Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is also a groundbreaking project, is implementing their weather. So, we are again as in this project. Now I say we as the collective, CIG plus all the wonderful project that the backers are all getting behind. We are backing this amazing project that is meeting or exceeding what the latest technology is out there. And just look at it. I mean, look at those water effects and the sound of how the particles, the snow particles and ice particles and water are hitting hitting your visor. It's amazing.
Yeah, that is really cool. It really does affect your visibility when you're out. When I was driving around in the cyclones the other night on New Babbage, and you really can hardly see where you're going, and it's pretty intense.
Dr. Murray, you have anything to say about this one?
I think the weather effects are pretty cool. Sorry.
That they are.
I think we have a consensus on the fact that weather effects are pretty darn cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the technology behind it. I really nerd out about that, but
I love this part with the clouds.
Yeah, the effect that they actually get from it is what's impressive. Like it's easy to have this written down on paper and sound like a good idea, but to actually get it to work in game and still keep your frame rate above 30 is impressive.
Yeah, that is really pretty impressive because the amount of particles and how much everything changes, and it's
and there's a lot of draw calls going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's.
I just can't wait for it to be truly dynamic. That weather, that's going to be super exciting.
Yeah.
It feels very dynamic because you'll be in this mountain meadow and it'll be bright and sunny or up on the side of a mountain and everything looks just absolutely beautiful, and then all of a sudden you'll start see some clouds coming in, and then the snow starts, and then it just starts blizzarding, and you have whiteout conditions, and if you wait long enough, then it starts to taper off and clouds move away, and it's just like a real blizzard moving through. And for a moving simulation, it feels real enough.
I've made myself a smaller elf so we can see what people are saying.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah. I'm going to raise my voice.
Thanks for the sub, Miguel.
Oh, thanks for the sub, Miguel.
Thanks, Miguel. Zamfir, I love your name, man. One of the best acoustic. What do they call? There's a name for when you make. It's like a wind instrument. No, he's a composer as well.
Composer, performer.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, it's disingenuous. Musician. Good one. Let's move on. So this tech is amazing. Look, we're obviously at a loss for words right now, but the tech is fantastic. If anybody wants to talk about it in chat, go ahead. We'll talk about the weather effects. Shousen is saying,
if you have any questions.
Yes, good point. If you have questions, please put them into chat.
There's the forum.
What we'll do is we will do a Q&A session at the end of the show like we normally do. But I think this show, because there wasn't a lot that went on this week outside of the fact that we got the PTU and we can talk about those experiences. So go ahead and put your questions in chat and we'll try and answer them as we go along here. But moving on, let's move on to the Crusader Ares, the Starfighter.
Oh, that was big news this week. Super big news.
Yeah. Expected.
Really
Still big news.
Very exciting. So did you guys get one?
No.
I did not.
Yeah.
Did you, Stem? You get two?
I did, but it's more like it's a CCU. Right now I'm not putting money into the game. It's Christmas time. I have a large family. My family likes gifts. They're very monetarily focused. So things focused. So
yeah.
I'm
giving the gifts of money.
Yeah, Dorian was asking why is Stem frozen with his drink if you were stunned, but Stem's having some video issues, so he's just put a steel cardboard cutout of Stem here for us this evening.
Yeah, and I've made it small so that I'm like an elf, so I'm not disturbing chat.
He upset a gypsy woman. That's what happened.
But so what do you guys think about the two variants with the Gatling versus the energy cannon?
I kind of think they should have made it interchangeable.
A lot of people want that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and if there's other size 7 weapons
Exactly.
that are going to be out, if you want to change it out for something else, so what if you want a size 7 ballistic cannon and not a Gatling?
Yeah. I want a size 7 ballistic cannon.
I think that would be pretty darn cool. The monster
Yeah.
explosions.
I want a
But-
size 7 ballistic cannon.
But the ballistic cannon, like the dark one, that one, the one we're looking at right now, that is the ballistic cannon.
No,
It's a Gatling.
it's a Gatling.
Yeah, but
And
it's ballistics, isn't it?
that were
No, a
it is
ballistic
ballistic.
cannon is a single firing explosive projectile.
Semi-automatic.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
but it's ballistic projectile, right?
Right, it is
But
a
it's-
ballistic projectile, but it's coming
It's
out
not,
of
it's not a cannon.
yeah. It's
So-
still a big
so-
bullet.
So the CIG classifies their different weapons as ballistic and laser repeaters, ballistic and laser cannons. And is the Gatling considered a repeater? Or is that considered a Gatling?
It's considered a Gatling.
Yeah.
There's
So
Gatlings and there's
Okay.
repeaters. Gatlings have a higher fire rate, but lower
Re-
DPS.
repeaters will continue to
Higher
fire if
DPS.
you hold down the
Yeah.
your trigger, and cannons you have to
I think they're semi-automatic now.
semi-automatic for each fire, or can you hold it down?
I don't know if you can hold it down. I never do.
I know they've gone back and forth on that.
I'm a tappy kind of shooter.
It's definitely a slower rate of fire on the cannons and
Thanks
higher.
for the sub,
higher
Stim
damage.
Citizen.
You're welcome.
9 months. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We've been
Thanks.
doing this for 9 months.
We have been doing this for 9 months.
Yee.
I thought it was longer.
So,
I thought we
so
started in February.
We started in
did.
February, didn't we?
we did. I my Twitch Prime was already taken by another show, so I had to wait for it
Oh.
to come up, and then I decided to sub normally as well. So besides doing everything else, but I have a question for you guys. So the ballistic, it's not a ballistic cannon; it's a ballistic repeater. Is that right?
It's a Gatling.
Okay, it's a
Possibly. Hey,
ballistic.
Xylo,
okay.
good to see you, man.
Hey, Xylo,
So,
good to
right.
see you, buddy.
Silo never subscribes. What's the deal with that?
I think Xylo puts in enough that he doesn't have to subscribe.
Right.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Xylo is everywhere all the time. Xylo was visiting all the streamers yesterday in his mole, from what I hear.
I know. I heard that.
Ooh.
Yes, I saw.
I
a
was
lot
sad
of,
they didn't give the mold the ETF like they did with the Mantis. I think that was a brilliant plan. You should do it again.
I wonder if it's going to be out in the PTU this weekend.
Maybe.
Hey, Pack and Fireworker, thanks for resubbing, man. Much appreciated.
Woo! Firewalker. What did you say?
So, guys, when Xylo comes into the chat, when anybody from CIG comes to the chat, do us a favor. Don't spam him with questions. You know, let him come in. This is a safe place. He can come in, hang out, and be positive and share a good time. Maybe degauss a little bit, you know, from working with Jared, because Jared rides him all day. You know, we know how it is. And then, of course, you know, Jeremiah Lee gives him a hard time all the time, you know, and maybe just give him, give him a chance to degauss and hang out. It's the holiday season.
I think Xylo has to be probably the most pinged person anywhere, because he's in so many discords and people ping him all the time. I always have to tell him and tell people in all the discords, don't ping Xylo, please.
I know, but at the same
He's
time,
got them all set to mute.
Even just to say hi, even people just say hi Xylo if they happen to see that his name's in a discord, and it's like, oh my god, Xylo's in this discord. Xylo's in 100 discords just like I am, and doesn't mean that he wants to get pinged by everybody just saying hello all the time.
but
That
that's
being
okay.
said, ping Joran every time you see him in a Discord.
Yeah,
He
but
likes
he
it.
actually
Yes.
likes it.
I do actually like it, because otherwise if you don't ping me, I'm probably going to miss whatever it was you said.
Yep.
and he has
And
fear
I
of
do
missing
try.
out.
I try to keep up. Yes, I do have fear of missing out on Discord. It's my
Yeah.
addiction.
Okay,
And
so
I'll talk
let's,
to you first if I want to talk to you.
let's talk a little bit more about what we got with the Aries. So we got some great pictures that have come out as well.
This
so,
one is amazing. The Idris. Oh, that is hot.
There's a little joke about this on Reddit where they did this image and they took away the Aries and then they took away the Idris. There was just the fog. Then they took away the fog. It was just a black screen.
And that's funny?
What was the
It
joke?
was funny. Because, like, there were several images. You guys suck. I hate you all.
We're missing some context there. Sorry.
Yeah, there were several images.
Okay.
Okay, there's the next one.
Slowly removed elements from the image.
Nice. So what does this look like to you guys? Is that a planet in the background? This is like an orbital space station landing pad? What is this that we have?
I think it's a Bengal.
It's the Crucible. It's gotten really big.
That's really big. That's not the
That'd be a
Crucible.
little big for the Crucible. I think that's a Bengal.
Yeah, who knows what that is.
Yeah.
It
there's
could
no
just
way to
be
know.
an asset they drew just for this picture.
Yeah.
Like they did with the eclipse and its hangar.
Possible. But I think that was also that was also the Bengal. I think they're using the Bengal really.
No, they just had some kind of carrier ship that they drew up for the eclipse. Looks kind of like this.
So this
that
one
could be the Bengal.
could be. It could be. It could be nothing.
Yeah.
Could be nothing.
Well, because like the Bengal that doesn't just have its internal launching area. It also has the part on top was shown early on as being a landing and launching area.
So does that look like void armor to you?
No.
I don't know what void armor is. I've heard the name.
It's the stealth armor.
Hornet Ghost has void armor.
Yeah, and so does the stealth, the Prowler, right?
No. Prowler has its own proprietary thing.
Its own type? Okay, well, it looks like stealth armor to me.
It's similar to what they showed us with the Star Runner.
Oh,
yeah, it had a cool skin like that.
Like a hexagonal pattern like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hexagonal.
The
advocacy skin, yeah.
Armor? Yes.
Are you giving me a hard time for saying it in a Canadian way, saying hexagonal versus hexagonal?
Well, no, it's pronounced hexagonal.
No.
Is it now?
Because it's an O, it's not an A.
I very often say hexagonal, so sorry.
It can only be pronounced one way.
It's an A.
Yeah,
it's an O.
It's an A.
The Canadians, it's always A.
I know they're all about their A's.
But so as far as the role for this ship is as a capital attack ship.
Hexagonal.
On
least important things.
No, that's Og.
Right. Okay. So moving on. Here's another amazing picture of the Ares.
As I described this show to my friends, like we drink and ramble.
Yeah.
But I think we ramble a little bit more focused than most shows. Although I don't think tonight's a very good example of it, to be really honest.
It's not our best night. We
normally are a lot more
change
composed. We're professional.
Yeah, we had to change our agendas at the very last minute, and Stim and I didn't have a pre-show meet up to plan out our notes and stuff. So we're semi discombobulated here this evening. But that's okay.
I'm a mushroom. They just keep me in the dark and feed me shit.
Feed me shit.
But you always have good input.
So tonight, for those that are tuning in late, tonight we were going to be having Dr. Contrast, and it was also going to be a charity stream. But since Shadowkin has the flu and isn't able to make it, he was the linchpin bringing all that together. So obviously we're not able to do that tonight. We're really disappointed about it, but at the same time, there's nothing we can do about it. We are going to have Dr. Contrast in very early January. It's going to be an amazing show, really exciting. We already went through and got the basics of what our concept ship is going to be that Dr. Contrast is going to create on that show. It's going to be a research and development large farm. So it's going to be a large size ship with 3 to 4 Q of human design not being any more specific than that. It's going to appear as if it is of lawful alignment, so lawful versus illicit and illegal. And it's going to have the two roles of being research and development and farming. So it's going to be pretty cool, the shift that's coming together. So stay tuned for that show, early January. Okay, so getting back to this show. So the Aries, it's gorgeous, guys. We've got a couple more shots here. Let's push through them. Okay, now this was the early development, subscriber early development. I'm not supposed to show this to you, but you're going to get a chance to see it. Guys, if you want to see
and Silas here to judge us?
Well, if you want to see this cool stuff, make sure you get subscribed between this.
Everyone
this
should
early
subscribe.
Concepts
It's
that are amazing,
well worthwhile.
As well as getting access to the 890 jump for all of December as a subscriber thing, as well as subscriber flair that we get. It's really worth it. So please, guys, do it. Okay,
and
so moving on.
The content that they create every week.
Yeah.
For $10, it's certainly worth it. So, Solomit was asking which one did we choose? Dr. Murray chose both. Stim, you chose the ballistic.
The ballistic. Yeah. So what I'm actually doing is I'm getting CCUs. I'm not actually getting the ship. I'm getting CCUs from common ship to it because I'm not sure which one I want, and I want to get the. I want to decide later on. So I've got a CCU to both. At the moment, that's what I'm doing.
I like the Ion. I didn't get any of them or CCUs, but if I did choose between them, I like the Ion because I always run out of ammo with Gatlins, and then also I like to have in the three medium shields. Seems pretty OP to me. And I like Karadev's comment that if everyone subscribed, maybe they'd be able to afford to bring back some shows.
Oh, ouch.
Ow.
Ow, indeed. You know what? The production level has gone up, and I got to tell you, my personal opinion is Jared seems less stressed, and he seems like he can get more people onto the show. It seems like it's a higher production value. So I'm actually happy with it. That being said, I do miss a lot of the old shows because of the nostalgia and the times, especially.
Yeah. Well, for me, the one show that I really miss, and going back through it, and there's a lot of shows that I enjoyed, shows I have nostalgia for, but as far as particular content, I really liked the Calling All Devs because it was specific weekly questions that we got answers to, and it was probably the best time in the project where we were getting a lot of answers by the community. A lot of things that we'd been wondering around about for a long time we're getting answered there. And I know they do a great job of answering on the weekly shows of the kind of more immediate content, but there's a lot of lingering things and bigger picture stuff that people have questions about, and that was a really good venue for them to bring that up.
So what we're watching right now is the Terra Firma panel from CitizenCon. That came out on Friday, as well as the Aries subvault images that we looked at before. Now let's move on to the planetary art. So this is Star Citizen Live.
Planetary art.
That we got. And again, remember guys, this week was all about planets.
And it was phenomenal. And the Planetech version 4 is just spectacular. And the visuals when you're going from space to planet are so much better. And it really looks good.
When we saw it in ETF, we were really impressed that you couldn't see any repeating patterns, even from high orbit. You look down, like before with version 3, you could see repeating patterns. You could see that this segment and this segment were identical, but they were spread out over like 10 kilometers, so it was impressive. But now it's like an entirely unique world, which is even more impressive.
Yeah, I want to get back to Daymar. I really haven't been to any of the other moons or planets except for Dalamar, because that was one of the things that I always noticed on Daymar, like when I'd be searching for the Javelin wreck, it is that the canyon patterns would be very repeating.
Right.
Was really looking forward to seeing that get more randomized over time.
Yeah, Daymar is awesome. All the moons look better now, and
it's what people have been saying.
Yeah, I mean everything just looks better. Hurston, when you come into Hurston on the night side, it has this red glow. It looks like lava sitting on it.
Wow.
It's nice.
And they did
Yeah,
all of the moons and planets in 2 months with the new Planet Tech.
Yeah.
yeah.
Isn't that incredible?
That was a big deal, and they talked about that on the Pillar Talk, which we'll touch base on a little bit later.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Do you think there was any sacrifice
There's obvious sacrifices.
because they did it in 2 months?
What kind of sacrifice? No, the tools and the tech that they've developed are allowing them to do everything that much faster. Whereas before they had to do a lot more handwork, and now the actual tools and the algorithms give them a lot more high level ability to set their parameters and not have to do nearly as much manual work when they're creating these things. And that's what they talked about on the Pillar Talk today. Is that the tools are down to the point where they can go back and redo a dozen moons and 3 planets in 2 months, and that's going to be kind of setting the pace going forward. Where, and they didn't specifically say, but going forward, it's really just as the things they'll need to add are the different texture types and the different rocks and things. But as that library grows, the tool itself allows them to build that much faster. And I think Carson was saying in the Discord.
This is just V4. Like, there's going to be a V5.
Yeah, and this is just the basic level that they feel the tool needs to be at to really start to produce content. And Carson was saying earlier in the Discord that to get to 100 star systems, they're going to need to turn out 10 star systems a year for 10 years. That's a lot of content.
Yeah.
If it takes 10 years, but and if they can get faster than that, which
there's a lot of systems that don't have a lot of things in them, which is nice.
Yeah, like Pyro, and there's a lot of others where the main thing are really going to be the few points of interest where there's a specific station in the lore or something.
Yeah. Look at these fields of wildflowers, guys. With
the
rock outcroppings. I mean, I've gone on hikes that are nowhere near as beautiful as this. Up to mountain peaks.
You should hike in Oregon.
Best thing.
It's amazing. I live in British Columbia, man. Some of the hikes are pretty amazing.
Whistler's pretty spectacular. Pretty spectacular. But
in the summer. Don't forget to visit in the summer.
Yeah. I'm going to get to hike in Ohio pretty soon. So exciting.
That's
you poor bastard.
That's okay. I'll have Star Citizen to escape to. We'll be good.
You can just go to Microtech anytime you want, and that's what I've been doing. I've been going and trying to find those kinds of locations like that, and just like going sightseeing. It's like taking a vacation to Planet Colorado.
Beautiful.
That's what we're calling it.
It's not Colorado. That's terrible.
But
I love Colorado.
So, guys, we're zooming out. We haven't seen any grids
popping.
Any popping? No LOD shifts.
There's a little
where those LODs change.
Yeah.
Very little. But it's so much better than it was before, and it's just really.
So, what do you think is going to be in Planet Tech version 5? Better weather. I'll guess that.
They said that they're not actually planning a version 5. That there may be at some point.
There will be a version 5.
Well, what they said is that Planet Tech version 4 is really the base platform that they wanted to get to, and now that they're going to iterate upon version 4, and there's a lot of things that they're going to do to improve upon this, but it's not going to be like a whole different system.
Right.
This is the system that they want to build on, and they're just going to iterate from here.
I guess it'll be more like 4.1.
Yeah, 4.1, 4.2.
Mm-hmm. I imagine they'll get to 5 eventually, because they'll figure out how to do this faster or better.
Genotonic says, please build a planet that's not littered with rocks.
Yeah. Every planet is littered with rocks. We just had a lot of time to pick up rocks on this planet.
Well, they actually talked about that on the live show on Friday, in that the distribution of rocks is going to be different from what it has been in the past, where there'll be areas where there's a lot of rocks, and there'll be areas where there aren't very many rocks at all. So
Yeah.
that is definitely coming. Oh, look at
So,
that valley there.
ooh, Director Gunner, I like that fauna in version 5. So, so in addition to fauna, okay, one of the things that I really, really, really want to see is with the
Is
tree
animals?
technology. No. I want to see better flora. So not only more
Well,
flowers and all that kind of stuff, but I want to see where the canopy of the trees of the forest goes, from the outside to the inside. I want that forest mode of Endor
yeah.
where I can take a speeder and fly around in between the trees. And that
They're-
means that all the branches on the trees on the inside of the forest have to fall off the trees. You know what I mean? And the trees need to thin out because those big trees are taking up all of the sun at the top of the canopy, so that you
Yeah.
have that wide open forest, that the Lost Boys have their tree forts in and are flying around like Peter Pan, like I know it's not fantasy, but that is how a real forest, if you get those
I,
great big old growth forests, that's how it looks.
yeah,
I want to
Yeah.
see that happen.
I think we're definitely going to get that with some of the future planets in some of the other star systems that are coming. I spent a lot of time looking at the concept art and looking at what's to come, and there's some really spectacular planets with a lot of different varied biomes, from like this lush primitive rainforest, like almost like prehistoric type of
Nice.
biome.
And we've seen
And
that with the concept art from Microtech, how they had these massive looking plants that summarily got made a little bit more normal size. But we've seen how they could have these massive prehistoric plants. It's so cool.
Yeah, in some of the other.
Well, we haven't seen those yet because we haven't seen New Babbage internals.
We haven't even been inside the spaceport yet.
Yeah, exactly. So those plants are still probably there. They might be less big because they were enormous.
Things tend to get bigger in this game rather than smaller.
Yeah.
So. Yes, they do.
The other thing is I want to see like nursing trees, and 200-year-old fungus growing on the side of trees, and
oh yeah, I love that.
I want to see the undergrowth and shrubs, and in deserts I want to see tumbleweed going across. I want to see all of it, all the biomes.
Indoor walks.
Yeah.
No, tumbleweed's more
and
like
Baby Yoda.
A low desert.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I was jumping between biomes there, surely. But,
yeah.
And then what would be amazing as well is that full-on, like, phosphorescence, like Avatar night mode planet like that, too, where, like, Pandora.
Oh, yeah.
With the floating unobtainium sky rocks.
That would be so amazing.
With the hyper-connected Ethernet biostructure of all the planets.
Yeah.
Sick Tony Z on that. He'll sort it out for us.
Yeah. Oh, but going back to the fauna, that's not actually Planet Tech. That's really just a different. It's more of an AI NPC type of tech. Yeah. And as like they were saying today on Pillar Talk, I'm jumping ahead again, is that so many of these things that they want to add into the game, they just had to wait until they had server-side object container streaming. That they were just limited by the amount of content that the servers were having to handle. And now that they've got server-side object container streaming in, and they're testing it out, they're going to be able to add a tremendous amount of content that they would just were having to hold back on. Like the number of trees, the number of caves. And they said that they wanted to have hundreds of caves, and they were limited to 15 caves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to see more caves. So Dorian Skyfire says he wants to see the morning dew on a spider web on a tree. Well, yeah, I think we all do, but I don't think it's going to happen.
That would be cool.
And Lord Styles says he wants to see. Lord Styles says he wants to see submariner flora and fauna, and I totally love that idea. I really, really, really want to see not only like amphibious vehicles, but also the ability to go underwater. I know it's kind of cliche to say it, but picture like the Gungan submersible city, on the planet of Naboo. We want to have as much gameplay on a planet underwater as we do above ground. I mean, really, like the Earth is what, like 75% underwater, at least the surface of the Earth, something like that. I'm totally making that up, by the way. It's a decent amount.
No, it's like 73%.
It's a lot of water.
Yeah. So it's a lot of water.
Or 70, 73, 78, something like that.
Yeah. And,
like humans are 78% water. The Earth is 73. Yeah, I'll get it straight one day.
Yeah. So, but we came up with things like the Kraken and these giant sea monsters, because our imaginations took us there. That's part of what sci-fi is about, is kind of our imaginations. And obviously we want the realism that we get with shows like The Expanse and that kind of thing, but it's about somewhere between that dream and the gameplay and the realism. There's a point that I think we all kind of want to be at, and I think that CIG will take us there.
I think they all have the same dreams that we have. I think that they're all sci-fi nerds that have seen all of those sci-fi shows that we have. Every time the devs are talking, they bring these things up, and I think once they get to the point where they've got more freedom to bring things in, I think we're going to really be blown away by the stuff that they give us. But I think this was an interesting point to touch on here in the Star Citizen Live about the height maps and why they can't have really tall, steep terrain because of how the textures will stretch. So it's one of the things that they're working on for the future, but right now they're limited to, I think, 1 or 2 kilometers in height and not super steep. So even though that doesn't seem like a lot, even in a place like Colorado, the Himalayas, you don't typically see a single standalone mountain that's more than 1 or 2 kilometers higher than the surrounding area. So it doesn't mean that mountain range may not be 10 kilometers above sea level. It's just that they can't have a specific immediate height jump that high.
Right.
Cool. Is anybody else going to see the new Star Wars since it's coming out, and since I'm going to go see it on the 24th? Anyone?
Sunday.
Bueller?
Everybody here is going to see it at some point. Sunday for me.
Nice.
I don't know when I'm going to see it.
Mr. Gilligan wants deeper caves.
Yeah, they said that they were talking about doing like 10-kilometer deep caves.
What?
Yeah, like when they were talking on the cave show. A couple of months ago, that the guy that was developing the caves, it's like he wanted to have like 500 caves, and he wanted to go like 10 kilometers deep. It's just like crazy stuff he was talking about. And he said, it's like, well, when they said that all they could really get into the servers because of the server limitations, so you get 15 caves.
I like that. We're going to need a lot more glow sticks.
We need glow sticks that last longer than 30-40 minutes.
Are we going to have any Zion raves down in those caves? Is that what we're going to do?
I would think so.
Too many genres, guys. Too many. Okay,
all comes together. Let's
move on. So that was Friday. The rest of Friday. Oh, we have a little bit more to do. So there's the season's greetings, holiday greetings card contest came out. So. Guys, by midnight on January 1st, get in your greeting card options, and let's go through and see who your competitors are. This is the first one. It's pretty cool. There's the Pisces flying in the back there with the rover in the front. I love this one here.
Some of these are really cute.
Some of these are so good. This is my favorite, I think.
I like that. That's funny.
Santa's sleigh. Santa 1. Isn't that great? This one's very cool.
This year I keep the presents for me.
Yeah. And then Merry Christmas. Chris Robertsmith. He's giving us the Carrick this year.
A Carrick.
Next year.
Yeah, true. February.
Just in time for my birthday.
I like that. It's a stack of ornaments of the different manufacturers. With, of course, the base being Drake Interplanetary, where it belongs. Okay, let's explore some presents.
Oh, it's Little Terrapin.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that one. Gotta love Little Terrapin.
Some of these are so good. They're so good.
Such creative people.
And you know what? Like these are what, like the first 6 or 7 entries at the top, and sure they've been upvoted, but wow, like that is amazing quality. If you're going to submit, you got to get it in quick to get those upvotes, and you're competing against some really, really good content that's out already. Here's an animated one. It's like a snow globe.
A Carrick snow globe. They gave us one of those in like 2014.
I believe that's actually by our. Is that the one by Pawn? Check the poster.
No, it's Cagile.
Okay. Pawn did one kind of similar, maybe further
Cool.
down.
Mrs. Claus, hello. Grandpa, it's time to deliver the gifts. Do you think he would really deliver in one of those? Are they missiles? Are the missiles presents?
Yes.
One would assume so.
Thanks for the sub, Comic Stud. Cosmic Stud.
Oh,
no,
thanks
that's
for the
the
sub,
first
man.
time.
Thanks for the sub, man. Some really great cards. This one says Merry Christmas. You can't quite see it on the stream. That's really well done.
The Grinch.
I'd rather see a caterpillar sleigh than a ballista sleigh. I think it's a lot more realistic.
Caterpillar's pretty good. I like that one.
Okay.
It's Pawn. One more.
One more for Pawn? Oh,
I
Pawn
don't
commented
think
on that one.
Yep. Yeah.
Commented.
The next one is Pawn.
No, it's not.
This one? No.
Nope. Not the next one.
So good. Should we see if we can find
Commented
Pawns?
on it. Somewhere down there is Pawns.
No, you're just gonna. Poor people.
These are so good. There's so many good ones with the weather effects.
Yeah. Ooh,
From
Vanguard.
Microtech. It's the hull. It's my favorite. So good.
Which hull is that?
That is the C, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, it can't be the B because it's got.
Away.
Yeah. It's too small to be the D or E. I love the pixel art.
Yeah.
Now,
Port Olisar.
that's so good. Somebody actually had to spend the time to create like an 8-bit version of Port Olisar.
Yep.
It's so good. Wow. Well done. And obviously this person is centered in Australia.
New Zealand's actually on the map, so it's definitely someone from Australia.
That's really well done with the neon.
That's pretty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sunset.
They're doing such a good job. Oh, so yeah, it could be New Zealand.
No, New Zealand's not centered. I'm just saying that New Zealand's on the map, so it's somebody from Australia. Because most maps don't have New Zealand.
That really looks like, I don't know if this was taken from the ARC map, because I don't know if there's landing zones there, but I don't think there's a landing zone in the middle of the Pacific
It looks
like
it was taken from the ARC map.
Yeah, but is there a landing zone in the middle of the Pacific and then one in Southeast Asia, like almost
I don't
China?
know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Isn't it supposed to be like New York, LA, and London? Or
China,
something?
Beijing is
China.
one of them. London, Beijing,
Well,
Germany.
that could be Beijing.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Moving on.
Okay.
Moving right along. I think that's enough of these.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too. But they're so good. They're so good. Okay, so in the newsletter, really kind of more of the same this week. Really just talking about the Aries coming out. Then we also got something really cool, which is My Radar, which I won't talk too much about because I'm not a massive fan, but they did something really amazing where they put a chip into space with the Star Citizen logo on it, which I think is absolutely brilliant.
That was pretty cool. Pon just posted a link to his greeting card. We can show his.
Nice. Did you put that in main chat?
Yeah, main.
Chow mein?
Chat main.
Yeah, it's a cute set.
Sorry about the white.
Ah!
There we go. Nice one. Animated and everything. I love it. Well done, Pawn.
He's very good at those gifts.
Thanks for the raid, given Chuba.
Oh, thanks, Chuba.
All right, it's time to talk about the show a little bit since we got some new people coming in. Welcome, and thanks for the raid, given Chuba. So we were going to have a really cool show this right now, where we're gonna have a guy called Dr. Contrast that is an artist that was going to do. He's an industrial designer that's worked with Ferrari and Ford, and he's worked with George Lucas. He understudied under the main guy that designed the original Tron movie. Amazingly talented. He's an industrial designer. He does concept drawings, and he runs his own school. His name is Dr. Contrast, an amazing guy. We were going to have him on tonight. He is not on tonight, but he will be on in early January. One of our hosts, Shadowkin, is one of our hosts that is sick tonight. He wasn't able to make it, and so because of that, we're not able to have that show, but please tune in January. So subscribe, or rather follow, so that you can catch that show, because it's going to be amazing. On our last show, what we did is we created the basis of what this concept ship is going to be. We polled the community, and the community came back with their favorites being a human designed ship with 3 to 5 crew that looks like it's of lawful alignment, and has the 2 roles of being a research and develop ship, research and development ship with a farming subclass to it. So that's going to be a really exciting show coming up in about 3 weeks or so. And again, if you're joining us, this is our last show of the year. We won't be doing a Christmas show, but we will be doing a January 1st show to kick off the year in style. And then also, for those of you joining, I'm not animated because I'm having some issues with my camera tonight. So this
we have a special guest on the 1st, too.
Yes, on the 1st, we have Hartswo back with us, which is going to be an awesome show. Hartswo used to be a CIG member. He used to be head of the concierge department. He used to take care of all of us concierge, did an amazing job of it. I don't think CIG has been quite the same since he's left. I'm sure they're getting back on track, but it's wonderful to have Hartswo come in and give us a little bit of a lens into how things are run there and what some of the changes are that's going around, as well as just simply his opinion on the project and how the project's moving forward. So it'd be fantastic to have him on January 1st. Because we're talking about upcoming shows, we have Haskaha coming on January 8th. And if you don't know Haskaha, he does some amazing images, lots of 4K.
Everybody knows Haskaha.
You got to know him. We've got Buster the Destroyer coming in again on January 15th. She's amazing. Just in time for the Corsair Rally on January 25th. We have the Daymar Rally on the January 25th. Yeah. We have Corsair, who is the leader of the Daymar Rally. He's coming in on our January 22nd show in order to talk about what's going on with that rally. Then we've got Dad Lando, who is Jared Huckabee's father, an amazing guy. He was with us for a charity stream we did a few weeks back. He's coming back on the show on January 29th. Then February 5th, we'll have the Few back on. February 19th, we have Chris Harrow coming on for the first time. If you don't know Chris Harrow, he's the guy that has done the font types for the Xi'an and Banu languages. And if you haven't heard those languages spoken and seen them written, they are beautiful. Now, to me, it's not the most interesting topic to talk about, the different languages, because I want to see the gameplay. But I had a chance to sit with Chris Harrow in the airport on the way back from CitizenCon, and really it's entrancing. So that's going to be a really interesting show. And then we have Miss Hearts coming back on the show on February 26th. She is a Star Citizen streamer. She's been away from Star Citizen for a little while, and she's coming back, and it's going to be really exciting to have her back on the show. So follow.
Awesome member of the community.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, back to the show. So we were on Friday, and we were going through the greeting card contest, and we were on to the newsletter.
So, yes, the newsletter.
We spoke about how the My Radar put a satellite in space, which had a Star Citizen chip on it, which is kind of cool. Why don't we dive into, let's have a quick look at the sneak peek, because that's always a good one. Where's the sneak peek?
So while you're looking for that, a quick note about My Radar. It's a great weather app by the guy who started it is a great member of the Star Citizen community. He's done some interviews with Chris Roberts and Tony Z, and his app actually has three-dimensional models in that you can look at most of the moons. I think he still has that updated of Star Citizen. He has actually in his My Radar app, so definitely check it out.
Yeah, it's a little
weather radar app too.
Odd to have an Earth. Awesome. It's actually a really good weather app. And then you kind of flick over to the other section, which is all about Star Citizen. It's totally a strange disconnect.
It's so cool.
I wish they were two different apps, but it is an amazing app, and he's doing something that nobody out there is doing. And it's really, really great. And who can blame him for wanting to leverage his business with it and his app with it? Because it is a very good app.
Yeah, and it's a great way to put Star Citizen in front of all of his app users.
Yeah, it's more publicity. Publicity is good most of the time.
Yep.
So this is the sneak peek here of a new bearing rifle. This is so it's talking about the optics specifically here. The name of the file is bearoptics.jpg.
I love this assault rifle. This sniper. It's beautiful. I've already gotten it.
The P7.
The P8, I think.
Yeah, the P7
P8
or P6. Sorry, P6.
Is it P6?
Yeah, P6L.
That's not a sniper scope.
It's a small one.
That looks more like a red dot sight or something.
Yeah, it does look like a hollow. But
I don't know what it actually comes with, but it's a pretty.
It comes
nice,
with a 16 scope.
Yeah, very nice scope.
So chat's correcting you, saying the P6LR.
Yeah, that's what I said. P6L something.
Yep. Yep.
You had 26.
P8's the submachine gun.
All right. Not to mention special characters. Okay, should we dive into the roadmap roundup? Couple of changes this week. So it's performance optimization and atmosphere tech improvements. Those are the real movements that were done this week, which is great.
Moving into polishing, so nothing was pushed back.
That's huge news. That was one of the big things about Pillow Talk that I absolutely loved this time, is that there was nothing really pushed back. Ugh, guys, well done. CIG, well done. So here's the roadmap. Now, I got to say, with the roadmap these days, I hesitate to show it more and more because as we get closer to release, they tend not to update things when it comes to they don't update it as well when it comes to things like the ships. And since lately we have most of the things in, I hesitate to show it. That being said, it is great to see the development changes that are reported.
Not everybody has seen this version of the roadmap summary that Odysseus does. He posted on Reddit and Twitter and the RSI hub, I think, and it's a great summary of the upcoming patches that are visible. So it's, of course, important to know that we only have through 4.0, which is essentially 6 more months of patches. So our forward-looking 1 year, we'll probably get the update in February for 4.1 and 4.2 for the third and fourth quarters of next year, which I am super excited to see what is on those.
So do you think with staggered development, we're going to have less of that sort of January, February, March lull that we have each year as CIG comes back from holidays and everybody starts prepping and planning for the next development cycle?
Well, I think they're still going to. I think they do that as just part of their normal management assessment every year. Starting the year off, okay, where are we? How do things look? What are the priorities? What are the teams looking at? Let's set your 3 month, 6 month, 9 month, and 12 month timelines based on the 6 month patch cycles. And I think we'll still see that. So I'm not anticipating getting the roadmap updates until February.
Okay. All right. So as far as 3.8 is concerned, everything's done except for the Argo Mole, as you can see there, which they're reporting as 93% done. And of course, Xylo is flying it. In the last, was it just yesterday or was it the day before as well?
Yesterday.
Yeah, so he's flying it yesterday, popping in and out of various streamers' streams, which is pretty cool. I got to say, that's really neat. So to coordinate that, he's got to obviously be in their streams, know their schedules, know what server they're on, be able to track what server they're on. It's pretty impressive, man. Nicely done.
Special dev tools.
Yeah. But still, it takes effort, and it's an innovative way of engaging with the community. Very, very well done.
It provides a lot of hype. It was circulating around the Discords like wildfire.
Yeah, I saw some pictures. Now, I don't have any pictures to show of the mole, and we're really against showing leaks here. However, since it was stuff that was clearly done officially through official channels, I don't think it's a leak. So if anyone wants to post some of those images, I'll be happy to show them. And just go ahead and post them in the Discord in the main channel, and I'll be happy to show those. And in the meanwhile, let's move on to Saturday and Sunday. So that was Friday. Let's move on to what happened over the weekends. There were 3 bar citizens. We had Orlando, Florida, Kent, Ohio, and San Antonio, Texas. And we have pictures from Orlando and San Antonio. So the first one is from Orlando. And Joran, do you know anyone in this?
Mystic Star was at this bar citizen. I know a lot of people there. She's not in this particular picture, but
she took the picture.
I recognize a lot of people in the picture as a pretty good sized bar citizen. Looks like 20 something people, maybe 30.
That's a big group, yeah.
Yeah, they had a good turnout. I regret that I missed that one.
Were you out of town?
Yeah, I was down here in South Florida. I wasn't able to get up there.
All right, so we also have a picture from San Antonio, Texas. That's a good picture as well.
Yep.
Lots of good pizza.
What is that debris on that plate? Is that chips?
Debris?
Did you say debris?
That's how the word's pronounced, yeah.
More like debris?
Not debris.
You know, one of the things we do on this show is we argue about how things are pronounced all the time. Literally all the time. I like to correct Dr. Murray when he's wrong. So moving on to Monday.
I like to pronounce things wrong to mess with Sims.
On Monday, This Week in Star Citizen, it basically covered what happened, spoke about the new greeting card contest that we covered already going out. But one of the things it did really dive into was the panels. It spoke about a panel playlist that was put together, which I am showing in the background here. Although if you go to if you go to the Star Citizen YouTube page, they created a playlist that is just the panels. So if you want to get caught up on the panels, you have a flight somewhere, go to that playlist and just download everything so you can get up to date if you haven't seen all the panels, because they were fantastic. I had the chance to volunteer at CitizenCon this year, and I missed some of the panels, but I was also able to catch quite a few of them live, and it was fantastic. So not to be missed.
We've got three clips in the main channel of the Discord of them all.
Nice.
4 clips. Mini clips.
All right.
Hey, Chuba, thanks for stopping by, man. Thanks for the raid.
Woo!
Flying Sparrow, we've rated her. She's awesome.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's awesome. She was funny, her reaction.
I like the look of that ship.
I love it.
Yeah, it looks nice.
So cool. Very, very industrial.
Mm.
It has a lot of visual interest to it. And from
Can you
what I
close that
understand,
much
there's
more line?
a lot of things move around as it's animating.
Yeah. Moly, 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 moly.
Is there a sandstorm, or is that like debris?
That's dust from
Is that debris from the VTOL
the
engines?
engines. I think it's called dust.
I think it's dust.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks very, very cool.
He doesn't actually land. He just teases them.
Yeah,
he did land
just
in
teasing
the
people.
other one. Oh wow, nice. Sergeant Tickles.
I love that cockpit.
Mm.
Where do you get on this thing?
Good question. I like how the engines sort of transform from one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
when the landing gear are down.
I wonder how many states it has. You know, like they keep talking about these different states as opposed to just having landing gear versus flight mode, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
cool.
it's an elevator in
Okay.
the bottom, looks like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So moving right along.
Yep, next one. We've got one more to show.
Night, Shausen.
Night, Shausen, buddy. Sleep
Thanks
well.
for hanging
Night.
out, man. Sleep well.
All right. Nice zoom in. Yeah. Oh, it looks good. That looks really great. Okay, let's move on.
Crunch said he posted one with some mole gameplay.
Well, you're too late, Crunch. You're too late.
There's a bunch here. So somebody's posted one twice. Here, we'll do one more.
The very last one that Crunch posted.
Oh, nice. So that's from inside. Oh, I like that cockpit. There's some pretty good visibility while still keeping that utilitarian aspect. And you really feel like you have your friend next to you sitting in the cockpit there.
Mm-hmm.
Can we zoom forward a bit?
Can we get out of the seat and walk around?
Yes, there is an interior cabin area.
That's it's a bug.
A little bit.
You've got a Pisces stuck to your foot. Oh, here we go. Let's actually go through this a little bit.
Nice.
Well, let's go through this because each room. There. Okay, so what do we think these are on the sides?
The coolers for the mining lasers.
That's a lot of cooling.
Yep.
Wow. I mean, those don't seem like they're components.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just making shit up. Could be anything.
So here we've got components written on the left-hand side.
Well, it could actually have to do with some kind of mining processing equipment, refining equipment.
Yeah, maybe refining. That's a dangerous word, right? Yeah. To speculate on.
Yeah, not refining, but what do they call it? Filtering. Because they did say that it was going to have a filtration ability.
This
is definitely the cruise mess.
Yeah, that's a mess hall.
Cruise mess on a ship. Mess hall has to do with outside on a planet.
All right. What's this all about? These are bunks, probably escape pods as well. That looks like 4.
Yep.
What do you think that is? A shower, maybe?
A shower?
You'd probably get pretty dirty mining, refining, and fixing components.
Yep.
That's another one, maybe? I don't think there'd be 2.
I don't know what the hell they are. What's this? Is this the bathroom?
Looks like a way down to the next level. It's the Jeffries tube. Poor Jeffrey.
Whee!
Never lived that one up. Then this is the second level.
There was the ship's main entrance right there. That lift that he walked by.
Oh. Okay, so that's a C.
This is where you mine?
That's the turret. And it slides all the way forward. Okay, now I think this is directly underneath the front canopy there.
Yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, and he's actually in it now, and it's detached and come out forward from the ship. Kind of like the hammerhead ball turret, but it's not a ball.
Yeah. Power on. Oh no, he's in the side turret. The front turret's already mining. Someone's in it already.
Yeah, this would be side. You can see the ship to the right there.
Yeah, it looks like you got in the port turret. What the hell?
Cool. Very cool.
Falco says, one question, does it have a coffee cup holder?
Good question.
You damn coffee addicts.
It's a lot of mining footage. Let's scrub forward. Still got a Pisces connected to its feet. Some quantum. Landing. Okay.
Pretty cool. Moving right along.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, and bless you, Dr. Murray.
No, you bastard.
Don't do that.
Okay, so after that, we move straight on to the to Tuesday. So on Tuesday, as always, we get our lore post or our our system update or whatever it is that's posted on a Tuesday. This Tuesday, it was op.net, the Civilian Defense Force. Now, I had a chance to read it. I don't know. Did you guys have a chance to read it?
I did not.
Okay.
I'm glad you did.
But what do you know?
I knew somebody else would read it.
What do you? Yeah, right. What do you know? As I've ever read it for a show before.
It's one of the few times you did.
It's probably the only time, and it may not happen ever again. So listen up. So the Civilian Defense Force, what do you know about it? Anything?
There's civilians who do defending stuff.
Okay, so there's been some discussion about the Civilian Defense Force. Now, I can't remember where from. However, it's been sort of, coming around. Maybe it was at CitizenCon it was discussed, where basically, or maybe it was talking to, maybe it was when I was on the captain's table, and it was mentioned by Paul Shelley, a.k.a. the Batman, Berserker 01, the Astropub. So he went on, he was talking about how the civilians of Stanton are getting mobilized to basically act as police because the UEE is too busy fighting the Vandul. So this whole article was about a show that interviewed the person that's in charge of this initiative, and it was they spin it off really well, kind of how the show is it doesn't shill or is paid off by the UEE. Its opinions are its opinions, totally unofficial, and it talks about how they basically grill this person. So I can't remember her name. Let's go find her name. Hold on a moment. It's a really good read. Her name is Rowena Dully. So Rowena basically is the leader of this defense force, and she's defending while they pretty much attack her, but in a very good investigative journalist way, about how it's dangerous to conscribe civilians in order to defend the populace. So it's a really good read. I suggest you give it a shout. What I absolutely love about this, and this is a bit of a departure, but at the very end they talk about how, thank you for joining us today. We may not see eye to eye on things, but I respect your commitment to making the Stanton system safer for all of us. And now we need to take a quick commercial break. Right, because in the future, 900 years in the future, one of the things that we still have is commercial breaks. Don't you think we'd be moved away completely from commercial breaks?
You think advertising is going to die in the future?
No,
there's likely to be more advertising.
But I think, anyway, commercials can die in a fire as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I don't think any of us disagree with that, but I don't think
pull
we're
the
ever going to get away from
cord.
it.
Yeah,
pull the cord.
Not going to
We're
happen.
never going to be with. We're going to be digital entities in the cloud, and we're still going to have commercials every hour.
Didn't you see Minority Report, where everywhere you walk, you're just surrounded by holograms of targeted
advertising?
Yeah, but we got to fight that, because that is really using your personal information away from the desire that you would like to be marketed to. Like
the problem is the majority of people don't care. So
we're off topic. Let's move back to Star Citizen.
Hold on. So Joran has decided to join the Stanton Defense Force for policing this channel, clearly. But I just want to talk about this very, very quickly. We need, now that this is Stim Citizen pretending he's like a big person in a small pond, right? Yeah. So saying that we need to team together to fight the fact that Alexa and Google have all of our datas.
They already have all of our data. It's too late to fight.
But wrestle control of your future data, please, people.
They make life too easy now.
Yeah,
they know everything I want.
Yeah, and we're all too busy.
I like to throw them off and just randomly search for random stuff.
They make our lives easier at the price of information.
All right.
So the Pillar Talk.
Well,
who got to see the Pillar Talk today?
But there's some questions in chat, like GTL Panda wants to know if anybody wants to crew after this. So if anybody wants to get in the verse after the show, hit up GTL Panda.
I'm heading to bed after this.
Yeah.
All right. So I had a chance to watch the Pillar Talk, and I thought it was awesome. I think that Tony Tony Zervik should just ditch the collared shirt that he's wearing like a lab coat and just go full on lab coat. I think he is a professor in his own right, and he needs to own it. What did you think?
He is the architect.
He totally is.
I think he is the architect. I love that meme. It was the best meme.
Yeah, can you find that meme? It was so good.
I believe I did save that meme. It was too good not to save.
No.
I don't know how long it's going to take me to find it.
Well,
it's where I think it is. Then it shouldn't. Oh, there it is. Good. Luckily, it was where I thought it was. It's in main chat.
Okay. It's so good.
Yes. Some genius memesters in this community.
That was really well done.
He is a god.
He's pretty darn good at what he does, that's for sure. Okay, back to Pillar Talk.
Pillar Talk. I wish I'd taken notes on it because I listened to it on the way home after work, and I want to listen to it again and take some notes because there was so much good information. This is probably one of the best Pillar Talks since the first Pillar Talk that they did, and I love how they really. I mean, my takeaway from this was that they really laid out their vision for how they're going to build the universe. Mm-hmm. Everybody may not have taken that away, but because that's the number one thing that I watch, all the content that comes out of CIG, I watch for measurable development progress and how they talk about that development progress, because that's really the most important thing. And a lot of that's really behind the curtain. And here at this talk, they were really talking about how they're finally hitting the milestones and overcoming some key thresholds to really start massively increasing the scale of the universe and really building it out. Part of that was the server-side object container streaming, and Sean Tracy really had some good points about that they're going to be able to have so much more in the Stanton system because right now there's about 500,000 entities that are being tracked in the system, and once the servers are going to be able to cull everything out that is not immediately around the players and within their rendering distance, then that's going to free up the servers to have so much more content. So like that, those hundreds of caves and more trees and more space stations, more outposts, and all of these things that we feel like there's not very many of, it's all because they've been limited by how much stuff they can put in the server. And for the past half a year, they've been really, really rationing what they put into the verse because they were just totally maxed out on server capacity. And I know we were talking on the show earlier this year about what's the trade-off to get Microtech into the Stanton system. Are they going to have to take out Delamar or some other place? And they said essentially they couldn't have done it without server-side object container streaming, and server-side object container streaming lets them bring that in. And now they can start experimenting with how much more stuff they can bring in. Where's the load being carried? Where are players going? When players are congregating in different areas, they're spreading out and causing more things to be loaded in. How is that going to affect the server? So that right now they're in a super critical testing phase for server capacity on SSOCS.
Thanks for the sub, Quinn.
Oh, yeah, thanks for the sub,
Quinn.
So they're really going to be testing things over this patch to see how much more they can scale in from a quantity of content, and then also players. They were talking about 100, 150, 200 players, depending on how this all plays out. I inferred that that's over the next 3 months. We're going to see them really figure out where the limitations are and how far they can take it by 3.9. So 3.9 could be pretty huge.
So one thing we should talk about, and with a grain of salt, is the number of 200 players was thrown out, and literally we can't focus on the fact that there's potentially 200 players, but they were tossing out numbers before server meshing comes out that we could get to with server-side object container streaming. And I remember when they released a massive article about server-side object container streaming in one of the jump points that we had earlier in the year. I would say it's probably August or September. And they spoke very specifically about how SOX isn't supposed to give us more players in the verse, but clearly because they've been riding this line of not being able to bring content into the verse because the limitation with SOX, now that they're bringing SOX in and they're freeing up that limitation, they now have a decision to make between how much content do they bring in and how many more player slots do they bring in, or how high do they raise the server cap, in order to give us kind of what we want with that group gameplay. And so they talk specifically in the video about finding that sweet spot between getting in a few more players. Maybe 200, maybe 75, maybe 55. Maybe they keep the server cap at the exact amount that it's at right now. One of the things they also talk about is that once you once you remove a bottleneck, which SOX removes a very specific bottleneck, you might very well run into other bottlenecks. And Tony Zervik mentions this. So until you get rid of that and you actually get those gameplay tests going in, like they had with Wave 1 PTU, they did a real sort of SOX test. You don't know what your limitations are. Now, this was recorded at CitizenCon on Saturday morning, before people were able to go into the show. So this information is almost a month old now, right? So they know a lot more. So it would be really interesting if you could be a fly on the wall to hear about what's changed in that month, on what they've learned from the actual Wave 1 and now Greater Wave PTU on what they can do in terms of the cap, the server cap. That would be fantastic to hear.
Yeah, I think they don't really know, and that's kind of what Sean Tracy was saying, is that they have a lot of things that they know, but there's so many things that they don't know, because this is really completely a new unknown territory that they're stepping into here. So they seem pretty excited about it. So I'm pretty excited.
So do we think we're going to get the live build before the end of the year, before Christmas?
No. January. I think they're going to leave open PT. I think they're going to do what they've done in the past, is continue to get the testing data over the next couple of weeks. I think that their intent, just like they have the past 2 years, is to do open PTU for the 2 weeks that they're gone. And then when they come back in January after the holiday, and they still have people that are the network team is there 24/7. And so they'll be monitoring the performance and gathering a lot of data, potentially fixing minor things that come up over the next 2 weeks. And then when they come back in January, then they'll crunch all their data and then have a few more patches, and then they'll go live in January. I don't think they're just going to shove it to live. Because OpenPT is essentially anybody who wants to play can play.
Yeah, and they're also learning so much about it. But
and it's still very buggy.
Yeah, true. So I'd rather them get it right. I mean, like with everything, with ships, with the verse, rather than get it right, and then go live before pulling the trigger too soon.
Yeah, people bitch enough about the bugs in the live version, and then the PTU it at least tells them, okay, well, if you're going to get to the PTU, it's going to be buggier, and people still bitch, which pisses me off. It's like you knew you were coming into a public test universe environment. You knew it was going to be buggier. It's like, okay, you can complain, but not as if like you weren't expecting it. Those are the people that annoy me. It's like this is too buggy for you. It's like, well, get out.
Yeah, come back when it's ready.
Wait for live.
Take
it's like
a break.
If it's too buggy for you, you can bitch, but it's testing, and we're patient, and you would deal with it, and that's what it is. Like, a lot of people think that it's just get in to see things earlier, and yeah, sure you can, but you're paying that price. If you're not willing to pay that price, get the fuck out and stop bitching. Like, I get a little triggered.
Yeah, I gotta agree though. Like, I like to die. In channel says that they didn't leave the PTU open over the holidays last year, and I've got a feeling because they're used to launching the live build that they will, and then switch to hot fixes if they need to. But I agree with you. If it's not ready, I'd rather see the PTU continue, especially because, they're talking about this build at the beginning wasn't totally feature complete for 3.8. It was still missing a few things. And so I'd like to see them roll those out properly in time, do their stress testing, do what they have to do. I mean, this is an amazing opportunity over the holidays for them to really explore what SOX gives them. It's a huge milestone in the game, and they've got to have KPIs that they're pushing against in order to figure out what they can do with the game in the short term and the far term as well. Sorry, KPI is a key performance indicator. So it's a business term, if you don't know it, for metrics that they're hoping to hit. So targets they were hoping to hit, and then if they don't hit those targets, or if they supersede those targets, they can adjust what their plan is to move forward. So this is the great opportunity. I'd rather see them do it over this period so that we kind of hit the ground running earlier in the new year than having things be delayed further, because we're used to having a pretty dry, or it's the best way of saying it, a dry sort of January, February in the new year. And I'd like to see that be measured out with a lot more community content, and maybe even just talking about what their management process is and what they're going through as they adjust through with it. Not because I see us as shareholders or stakeholders that need to be reported to, but just to give us contents that we feel connected to the project.
Yeah,
because we're obsessive and addicted.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It's become part of our routine. It really has. Dr. Murray, I love the fact that you want to push it. If you contribute more to the show, I'll let you move on a lot more. Okay, so that being said,
I get attacked.
He's busy.
He's going to come at me in the middle of the night with one of those new daggers that's in game. So I got to be careful what I say. Bang friggin' chow, man! Thanks for resubbing. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. All right, so some of the cool picks that we've seen now. This is obviously in the verse on Microtech.
Yeah.
Have you been there, Jordan?
No, I saw this tweeted. I need to go check this out.
Yeah, I've been there.
Has anybody been there, and do they know where it is?
I've been there. I can get there again.
Doc says that we should not tell people where it is. Should we?
Yeah, you got to find out where it is on your own. That's half the fun.
Is there a mission to find it, or it's just you wander around the entire star system?
It's on Microtech.
It is on Microtech. So you only have an entire planet to search.
Is it? Can I ask for a clue? I'd like to buy a vowel. So is it
it's
anywhere?
in the snowy section.
Yeah, that's really helpful. Is it anywhere near like buildings or obstructions or a landing zone? Like close to, within proximity, let's say like 200 meters or 300 meters of a landing zone or of a big building or structure.
200, 300 meters? No.
A kilometer?
No.
So it's quite out there.
Yeah, it's out there.
Okay. All right. Okay, we don't like to do spoilers on this show. So go ahead and find it. Enjoy. Hit up Dr. Murray personally. He takes PayPal payments for locations of things.
Yeah,
he knows.
$50. $50.
Or if you really want to, you can ask me in our Discord, because everybody here should be in the Yacht Club Discord, because it's a great, fun place to be.
It's an awesome place to be. Okay, so before we talk about moving on to the next week, we're going to do a giveaway. But very quickly, what we have up on the screen here is a Christmas event that's coming up on December 22nd. Now, I'm not showing the whole thing here because you can't really see what's at the bottom, but Board Gamer, that Crazy Tonk guy, Da Games, Sigelian, Crying Cow Gaming, Starburger, Captain Flint, Prime Fire, and a bunch of other streamers are all getting together on the 22nd Sunday to do a live stream. It's going to run for 24 hours. There's going to be tons of giveaways. They've raised a bunch of streamers are contributing to the show in order to get exposure. When they stream, there's going to be giveaways. I might very well be streaming on that day. I might be joining up with another streamer. I haven't reached out yet. I've been super busy. So you might see me on that day. That'll be an Easter egg if you can find me at some point. And of course, I'll post in the Discord if I do get out there. Jorin, are you going to be streaming?
I am not. I'm going to be out of town.
Okay. Dr. Murray, are you going to be streaming on the 22nd?
The 22nd of December?
Yeah.
Sunday.
Why would I be doing that?
I'm just playing fun.
Some kind of charity stream going on.
Is there a charity stream?
That's what Sam's been talking about for the past 5 minutes.
It's not charity.
That big graphic.
This one's not charity. This is just for everybody to share some time together. I think it's fantastic.
I thought it was a charity.
I don't think it's charity.
It says massive giveaways.
Yeah.
It's not like our show most of the time.
Yeah, it's normally like our show. Okay, so I promised a giveaway, guys. So if you haven't already, to get in on the giveaway, what you have to do is you have to put in an exclamation point and the word "ship me," all one word. I like to say it, "bang ship me." That's how the kids say it these days.
Does Teenager have a setup for it? He's got a setup, yes.
There we go. So enter "bang ship me" into the chat. We're going to be giving away CitizenCon 2949 gift package. What is it? The
digital goodies
pack. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Which we now know is a Carrick plushie, a telescope sextant, and
it's a sextant. It's not a telescope.
Well, I thought somebody said it looks like a telescope on the sextant.
It looks like
sextant has a telescope on it. Has a scope.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like somebody who doesn't know what the fuck they were doing put it together and called it a telescope.
And it's got the word sex in it.
Yeah, I don't know how a sextant's going to work on different planets. Like
most importantly, it has the Caldera suit.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Yes, and the special CitizenCon skin, which is not available in game.
That is the Microtech cold suit, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
The environmental suit.
So enter for that at least. All right. And while we're waiting for the entries to come in, let's talk about what's happening. So this is our last show of the year. We are not going to do a Christmas stream, unfortunately. It just didn't work out for enough hosts to make it work. But I will hopefully be on one of the Christmas event streams that are out there on Sunday the 22nd. Please tune in to catch that stream if you're available, because it's going to be a great time. Tons of different streamers. Basically how it works is they're going to be streaming throughout that entire day, and there's going to be a whole bunch of them, and they're going to be doing giveaways. It's going to be a lot of fun, and there's going to be announcements when the giveaways are happening. Okay, actually, let's go through to some Q&A. Let's see if we have any questions.
We do have some questions.
Oh wow, we've got quite a few. Okay, great.
Yes.
All right, so starting with the first one, and this question comes from, let's get some names here.
Darth Vader.
Thank you. I was trying to drag the screen a bit bigger.
Yeah, to do that myself. Ultra wides.
Yeah. So Starth Vader. Okay. So is 3.8 really supposed to try to stop server wipes, or was that delayed? Very good question.
Oh,
So
I know the answer.
Yes.
okay. Well, Dr. Murray, why don't you give it a shot?
Yeah, that's the goal. Is to stop server wipes. They're gonna wipe for 3.8, so your 3.72 stuff is gonna disappear. There's gonna be a wipe for 3.8, but the goal is to not have to wipe for 3.9 or 3.8.1, 0.2.3 as they give us the new ships. So yeah, they're hoping that they won't have to wipe between 3.8 and 3.9, etc.
But they reserve the right to wipe.
Oh yeah, they can wipe whenever the fuck they want.
I was going to say if necessary.
Yeah.
All right. So Babbage Ganoush, I love that name, asked the question. He's asking specifically for Joran. Joran, would you like a pumpkin donut or perhaps some pumpkin pie?
Yes.
What do I pair with my pumpkin spice beer? Good question.
More pumpkin spice. Pumpkin
Tampons.
spice cheesecake.
Tampons.
Ouch. Ouch. Jesus Christ, Dr. Mark. So is it anything pumpkin spice or
just I haven't really found anything I don't like pumpkin spice.
He likes pumpkin spice. I don't think he likes pumpkin that much.
I'm not a huge pumpkin fan. I do like pumpkin pie some, but it's really the pumpkin spice, that combination of cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, cloves, and allspice. That combination is just like crack to me.
Sure,
So
but
good.
you know, instead of it just being a salivating monster over pumpkin spice, what about if you were the what's the name of the vintner, the person that picks all the wine for the restaurant? What's the name of that?
Sommelier.
Sommelier. What if you were the sommelier for the yacht club of all things pumpkin spice? What would you pair with a pumpkin spice beer?
That is a good question. Pumpkin spice?
I think you should think about it and come back to us next show for Babbage Ganoush, because
Babbage
Ganoush asked some good questions last show, so I've got a feeling he'll be there for next show for it. Okay, next question by the Spy Z. Do you think we'll always have to go to multiple places to get rovers and away ships like the Pisces and the Ursa rover for the Carrack? So basically snubs, etc. Although good use of a different term for snubs, which aren't really snubs. I like away ships. It's good. Or will we be able to spawn them into the ship from ship consoles at spaceports? Great question. I'll start with this one, if that's okay. I think we're going to be able to spawn our ships with them in there. So when persistence comes in, if you leave your Pisces in your Carrack, then it should be in your Carrack when you leave. Similarly with a rover, whether it's an Origin rover or a Ursa rover, or heck, if you stuff whatever you stuff in, if it fits, you should be able to spawn with it there. However, to be able to spawn something directly in it, I think you'll only be able to spawn stuff into it that is supposed to be there. So with the 890, you'll probably be able to spawn the 85X, but you might not be able to spawn like a Razor EX, for example. What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, John Crew actually mentioned specifically that in the vehicle loadout manager, at some point in the near future, they are intending for you to be able to specify the vehicle and ships that are in your hangars and vehicle bays. So yes, that is actually intended for sometime soon.
And Gin and Tonic says that, probably with your Mobi-Glass. So what do you guys think about that?
Yes. Well, the Mobi-Glass is in the vehicle loadout vehicle loadout manager is in your Mobi-Glass. Yes.
Okay. All right, moving on. So Lord Styles asked via the website, what do you think about subsea submersible ships? Love it. Absolutely love it. Really want it. Want it to happen.
Subsea? Like below the sea?
Yeah, like
Subnautica.
Like under the sea,
Well, no, that's
under the sea, under the sea.
The sea goes all the way down to the seafloor.
Did anybody ever see Sequest DSV? That was like one of the best shows ever. And then the movie
Sequest
The
was
Abyss.
awesome.
You know, take those two,
Yeah.
mash them together, put them in Star Citizen, add some pumpkin
This was
spice.
awesome.
Yeah. How can you do worse?
Maybe.
All right, next question. Fight Club plus 890J plus alcohol while on hangar deck in Icewind on Microtech. When are we doing this? Joran, that's a Joran question.
Soon, TM.
I think we should pick a day, Joran. That's a January thing, right?
Yeah, sometime in January. Once I get back from out of town, so that first week of January, I'm going to start streaming 3 days a week again. Monday night, Thursday night, and Saturday night at 8:30 to 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I was actually thinking about doing fight clubs because I think it would probably be worthwhile to learn how to do some fisticuffs in the verse. So
I was thinking about getting the Starfare or Gemini and just advertising to people to come on board and do fight clubs, because you do fisticuffs in the cargo bay. You have like a lot of area for people to stand and watch. Yeah.
Yep. And you've got that upper catwalk area.
And we could fly to where there's no satellite, so nobody gets a crime rating. It'd be great.
Well, they were saying on the Pillar Talk today that if you engage in fisticuffs at Grimhex, then there's no consequences for that.
Yeah, but you can't knock people out currently. I don't know if
and you
they
can't
changed it where it
other
does
people
damage
could
now.
come in on your fight because they don't know the rules.
Well,
okay, but
if you go down to one of those deep, dark cave areas, maybe in Lipsky.
But the first thing about Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club, so we can't really talk about it until we announce something coming out. But
we can't
Jordan,
announce it because
I want in on that. I want in on that, and I think we should actually start getting getting personalities, and we should start a tournament. So I think we need a ladder. We need a tournament ladder for that.
Definitely put that on the list there.
And then we'll start up the Yacht Club chapter, and then we'll compete against other Discords. You like that? I like that. Let's make that happen.
Sure.
All right.
We'll make that happen.
Erebus Kingsley on the website says Ares versus Eclipse/Retaliator. Which is better capital ship fighter? So which is better against fighting capital ships? Why would one use an Ares over a bomber? That's a really good question.
Ducks are coming, guy.
Yeah, theoretically you would pair up an Ares with an Eclipse or a Retaliator squadron. You get the Ares in there to take the shields down, and then you bring in the torpedo bombers to hit the cap ship that way.
That's essentially what they were saying in the sales documents. So
yeah,
pretty much.
So you want to use both. If you could only have one out of them, I would say probably the Retaliator or the Eclipse. If your goal is to wound a capital ship.
And going after capital ships is a fleet action. It is not.
Yeah.
You don't just go after an Idris with an Ares.
You can't just go after an 890 with an Ares or a Retaliator.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you gotta weaken that shit down.
And the Retaliator, like the pilot doesn't really get access to any of the guns. I think he has access to some missiles, but not the main ones, right?
Torpedoes.
Okay, so he does get access to the torpedoes, but he or she doesn't get access to
any guns,
the turrets or anything.
No
so
correct.
You're a little bit more of a sitting duck. Not that you're a sitting duck in a Retaliator, but you don't have any defense, and you're a bigger target than an
AI blades come in, but you still won't be able to blade them all.
Yeah. So I have a question about the Ares, guys. So personally, when it comes down to it, I would like to get the Ares, but I've got the F8C, I've got the Freelancer Miss, and I've got the Warden. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, that's not my main area of gameplay, but I'm covered for that. So for me, the Ares doesn't make any sense. The only scenario where the Ares would make sense is if it's got like a long range kind of sniping capability. So
it's gonna have like 6 to 7 kilometer range on the Side 7 gun. Yeah, so you can sit back and plink.
That's pretty far, but it's it's still a range that can be closed fairly quickly with afterburners.
Yeah.
And it can't kite anything because it can't shoot backwards. So
kiting you're not shooting backwards, and it can shoot backwards. You just have to decouple.
You can decouple, sure, but then Still limited.
Yeah, but you're still a big ass turret, so it's fine. You just bank it
That's
on your
true,
shield.
actually. That's true. Size 7, it's still pretty darn good for the profile you
Yeah.
have because it's pretty form factor.
And most of the small fighters are going to eat you alive anyway, because it's going to be really hard to get a fixed size 7 on a fighter. It's hard to get fixed size 4s on a fighter.
Okay, so moving on. So, Aedoin. I think I said that right for the very first time. No, I've got
Aedoin.
With an Australian accent, it's Aedoin. or with an American accent from the South, it's hey, how you doing? Okay.
It sounds more like New Jersey in the South, but whatever.
Yeah, New Jersey.
my American accents are terrible. I'm from Canada. Okay, so he asked from the website, knowing that it took them 2 years to build the Stanton system from scratch and only 2 months to refactor it, how many systems per year do you think we'll be able to see coming online from now on?
5? 6?
I don't think it's gonna work that way.
Eventually, I think we'll see like 2 systems next year.
Yeah, I think. Well, so another interesting point that they brought up today on the Pillow Talk was when they were talking about Squadron 42, and they mentioned systems, as in multiple systems that they're building out with really highly detailed landing zones. So those systems are going to be part of the persistent universe, and we know that they're building out Pyro, and Nyx is going to be Dalamar is going to be in the Nyx system. So, but potentially end of next year, we could see a couple of systems come online.
Yeah.
In the following year,
32 mostly take place in the Odin system?
That's what I thought also, but they said specifically Star Systems, plural, and it sounded like more than 2.
Oh yeah, I figured once something bad happens, you'll have to go to a new system. But
yeah, so
I don't want to spoil anything.
So they're building those out. Plus, also the Helios planet that they had in the 890 commercial. They've been using that in several different concept work. So who knows if they've it started to flesh that out. But I think with the tool fairly well developed as it is, I think we'll start to see, like you said, maybe in 2021, not this coming year, but in the following year, we could potentially see a half a dozen systems come out. 4 to 6 systems potentially. Then the following year, potentially double that.
So I don't think we're going to see a lot of systems come out straight away. If you look at the way that alpha and beta development works, beta means feature complete but not content complete. So if they didn't have dedicated planet teams for this, what they would do is they would develop the tech for one planet, and then they would move on to something else, right? They wouldn't necessarily have lots of planets. Now, the reason why they've come up with another system is because they needed the jump point tech to work. But now that they have multiple systems, now they have 2 systems, they don't necessarily have to go for 3 systems or 4 systems or 5 systems in order to build out the features of the game, because that's content. More systems is more content. Now, there are other features that they will require more systems for, so I still think we will get more systems. I still think we will get more planets because of the fact that they do need more content for features, and they also have the teams for it. But just remember that what's driving the development of the features isn't necessarily more content. So I think that, and they will focus, CIG is very good at hypermiling their resources, both financial as well as their human resources that they've developed. So I think we'll get a really good growth plan, but I don't expect us to see 15 planets next year spread over 3 different systems.
No, definitely not next year, but the following year.
Yeah, could be, or over the course of 2 years.
Yeah, I think we're going to start seeing that development really start to speed up tremendously after next year. I think we'll start to see it really start to pick up in 2021 and 2022 to really start ramping up. So I was saying we might see two more systems next year, and then the following year maybe see 4 to 6 systems, and then the year after that they could start hitting that stride of hitting in 2022 at 4 to 6 systems, or to 10 systems.
Okay, 2 more questions before we do that giveaway. So the first one is, what happened to the engineer who used to do the Bug Smashers videos? He used to be in so much video content and CitizenCon panels. Now he's ghosted. Does he still work there? So this comes from I Like to Die on the website. I can't remember his name. Dr.
Mark
Murray,
Abent?
Yeah, that's him.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
Mark Abent.
I jumped
Now,
in.
I remember seeing him on a show, like walking in the background
promoted.
or something, pretty early.
Yeah, no, he's been promoted several levels, and they said, and he's so busy because he's running, and he's so good at what he does, and he's running a lot of different higher level teams. He doesn't have the time to put into that show, and he's not just bug smashing anymore.
Nice. Okay, Lord Styles asked via the website. Last question here. Learning a new language isn't trivial. What benefits do you think one would have knowing an alien language like Banu, apart from immersion? Okay, and this is a fantastic question. And I asked this of Chris Harrow when I had the chance to sit with him at the airport, because I speak one language and like fractions of other languages. And if I'm going to invest in a language myself to learn, I can tell you it's not going to be a video game language. So if you are such a polyglot that you have the time and energy and capacity to learn other languages in a video games that has value, then kudos to you. That's freaking amazing. So, but, so his response to me was, and I'm going to paraphrase very quickly here, there may be value. There may be communities that really get into it because of the immersion that you mentioned, Lord Styles. And because of that, they may be able to form their own sort of dialect that they can use if in-game chat becomes the norm, right? As opposed to Discord. But really, when you think about it, you could just be chatting on Discord or Mumble or TeamSpeak or Ventrilo or any other one of those discussion panels if you want to have a clandestine discussion. So it's not like there's going to be Banu NPCs that are going to have some kind of voice recognition that hear that you're talking in Banu and give you cheaper prices in negotiations. So, like, guys, do you see a different way of this working? Like, do you see any kind of benefit from learning one of the in-game languages besides English or Common or whatever it's called in the verse?
I don't know. I think it might help with immersion in some situations, but I think there's going to be subtitles whenever you talk to the Jean or the.
What if there are things that are written in areas? If you're going to Banu space or Xi'an space, and there are things that are written that give you clues to missions that you won't be able to find unless you can read those.
Yeah, I mean that's a possibility.
Essentially you're deciphering a code to find a special key to find a mission.
I think we need to add Banu and Xi'an to Google Translate so we can copy and paste that.
I think Chris Harrow created a translation software, didn't he?
I don't know. We'll have to find out when he's on the show next year.
I think this is a great subject to ask him.
Yeah. Great. We need to make a point of that question. Okay, guys. So that is the end of the show. Let's do that giveaway, shall we? For those that haven't gotten in the giveaway, we're giving away a CitizenCon 2949 goodies pack, which has a sextant in it. It has the Microtech cold armor, which is really cool. It has a plush something in it. With plush what? Joran?
Carrick plushie.
Ooh, Carrick plushie.
In-game Carrick plushie.
So cool. So to get in on that, just put bang ship me, so ! ship me into the chat. And then in 20 seconds, if you're ready, T-Neister, if you could please run the roll. And if you are the one that wins the role, you need to be in our Discord, and you need to be following on the Yacht Club, and you need to be in channel in order to win the gift. So you need to respond within about 30 seconds or so if you win. Quinn asks, "Can you tell it's plush in the game?" I don't know. We don't have it yet.
Yeah, it looked plushy. I saw a picture on Reddit.
Nice. Should have been the little terrapin gin and tonic. I agree.
No, it should have been the caterpillar.
Erebus.
It won the vote.
Oh,
Congratulations, Erebus! Congratulations, man.
Congrats, man. Well done.
Great.
There he is. Yeah, responded and everything. Perfect. Nice.
So
And
get the
see a little
Discord
baby
and
Yoda
message
plushie?
Stim.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda plushie.
Message me, Erebus Kingsley, and I'll make sure I get that to you, buddy. Yeah.
Awesome. So I think we're going to be rating Flying Sparrow. So everybody
Nice.
give her great Yacht Club beers and cheers and all the fun stuff and make her feel all the love.
Yeah, and until we send the raid over, just to let you know, this is our last show of the year. We'll be back on January 1st. We have Heartswoe on January 1st. We also have Haskaha on January 8th. On the 15th, we have Buster the Destroyer. On the 22nd, we have Corsair, just in time for the Daymar Rally. It's on the 25th. On the 29th, we have Dad Lando coming back, which is going to be awesome. We have The Few on February 5th. February 19th, we have Chris Harrow, which we've been talking about, and we have Miss Hearts on February 26th, and more guests to come. We will have more guests.
I'm
all the
streaming
time.
tomorrow night. So tomorrow night we'll have another Yacht Club get together at 8:30 Eastern, and that'll be the last one until January.
All right, that's your last chance to catch us, unless one of us is on the December 22nd Christmas show that's playing in the background there now. All right, guys.
Yep.
Now, everybody,
Bye,
have a great
everybody.
holiday. Good hanging out with you. We'll hang out in the Discord.
Bye, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Yep. That's
Happy
it.
holidays. And Happy New Year.